Well, would you look at that? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new boss. A new boss for Phase 2 of the Server World boss. And it's a Turbine. Turbo TBM Otis version. So in this video, we're going to show you the best comps that you can use in order to score the highest points in this boss. You see up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, on my main account, I am currently roughly 5 million. Well, he's at about 27 million. So we'll just say I'm 5 million above the next highest person on my server cluster. And we're going to show you some of the comps that you can use to get that. Now, I have used all 6, so we're going to have to go into simulation battle. A couple different things you can do here. And I guess first, though, I'm going to have to show you why summoners are now going to be more important here than, say, Dom, right? Because if you go down to the very, very bottom of this guy's ability list, or this guy's strategy guide, all of his abilities, nothing really matters, nothing really affects what you can do, but the very, very bottom, Achilles Heel, increases inflicted damage from summoned creatures and Evangelion heroes. So summoned creatures, not summoners, not summoner heroes, not heroes. So it is going to be very specific to which summons the creatures can do the most damage to the boss, which is why we're going to use summoners, because they have a bonus. So Evangelion units and summoners are going to be key to this fight. Now, there's a couple different things you can do. So, oh, I don't know what that was. Didn't read it. Since I do have Asuka here, first of all, let me say you want to use this guy, Enlightened Commander, and then you want to use Dominant Nucleus, as big a one you got. Go figure, they have this available in the Quantum Mimic store right now. And then these last two, or this middle one really, just the middle one, is unimportant. Use your highest level middle prototype for stats. But then this last one will become important if you're going to use Purin. So this is the ideal comp for me. I do have Asuka, and she is X30. She's not Hyper-Evolved 120, but she is Immortal 0 X30. And she's a beast, and I got videos coming out tomorrow highlighting Asuka, because people are starting to unlock her now, depending on how high you fared in the first phase leaderboard. So this is the ideal comp. This is the one I used to get 31.6 million. The gear, I'll show you the gear on my Sif. She is Immortal 2, Hyper-Evolved 120, and she is running Madness, a full tempered, full big old tempered Madness set. My Daniel, he's still only Awakened 2, but he is X30. I do have some gear on him that I'm building for when he is full Awakened further. But for now, he's just running the good old Madness and Hero set, but his Madness set is fully tempered. Asuka is in Marauder. Shinji is in Surge, and Mari is in Unleashed. So this is the team that I got 31 million with, but I'm assuming that the vast majority aren't going to have this, so we're going to just remove Asuka. All right. Now, there are two different things you could do. So the first test I did, wow, everybody and their dog sending me notifications. The first test I did on this boss was using Ampu. But keep in mind that Ampu's soul explosions count as hero damage, not summons damage, and we really want the most damage out of summoned units. So he did about 775 million damage himself, and the whole team did about 26 million points of damage, which is kind of in line with what people on the leaderboard are doing. See, 26, 25, right? So maybe they're using Ampu, but that is not ideal. I actually found that I tested Skewer and Hattie. Now, it's interesting to note, or I do have to note it, that she is in non-tempered, just full hero set, X20, but she is Hyper-Evolved 120, and she is Immortal 5. She is maxed out. So her attack bonuses that she brings to, say, like the bear, to Gobo, to all of the summons, is actually better, or it was better than running Ampu. Whereas the Ampu team got 26 million damage, the Skewer and Hattie team got 28.5. So Skewer and Hattie better than Ampu, because, like we said, the boss takes increased damage from summoned creatures, and Ampu, although he is a summoner, most of his damage is all hero damage, not summons damage. So You can run Scour and Hattie if you've got a well-developed Scour and Hattie. But then I tried, and you saw her when we first came in here, Purin. And Purin you're gonna have to run Revitalization Crystal if you run your Purin. She did pretty much equivalent damage to the Scour and Hattie. So I would say if you do not have Scour and Hattie well developed, I'm not saying X30, I'm saying X20, but hyper evolved, Immortal 5. If you don't have a well developed Scour and Hattie, if you had her X30, Scour and Hattie would be the next best choice. But if you don't, then Purin's not going to do any damage, but you know what she's going to do? She's going to buff up everybody else. So let's run a Purin test. Now, there is other situations. What if you don't have Mari? Okay, if you don't have Mari, say you got screwed in the summoning, then if you have Asuka, run Asuka. If you don't have Asuka, if you only have Shinji, then run Purin and Scour and Hattie. Or you can run Purin and Ampu if your Scour and Hattie sucks, or if you don't have a Scour and Hattie. There is a lot of ways to tweak this, and you're going to get diminishing returns in points as you start to differentiate from these comps. So, yeah, Purin, no damage whatsoever. She's providing 0 points, but what she is bringing, she is buffing up my Sith. Oh, no, looks like... the weird thing about Purin is she will buff summoned units. Like right now, she's got like one of the Falcons buffed. And I don't know if that is ideal. The buff moves around. Yeah, it's back to the Falcon. It's not on Dan. It's actually on his little birdie, his summoned creature. But that is beneficial because the damage from that summoned unit is going to be increased on this boss. See, now it went to the bear. The bear was out. The bear is getting the benefit of the Purin mark. It's going to jump all over the place. Now the Jaguar has it for whatever reason. But it is a decent strat. So what are we at? We're at 25 million. If it's going to be kind of similar to what I did get in my testing, it's going to end up around 28.5, which was also similar to not running Purin and running Scour and Hattie. So also keep in mind though that my Shinji is Hyper Evolved 120 X30. My Mari is X20, but she is Immortal. So you're 28.5. That is roughly around what I was getting in my testing as well. So keep in mind that your damage is going to vary dependent on your level of development. But there's a lot of different ways you can skin this cat. So let's go through it right now. The ideal comp is this. I'm moving the placements because that's the best placement for my commander buffs. You gotta have to play into where your commander buffs work for your team. So this is my best team, right? The 3 Collab units, Sif and Dan. Now, say you don't have Asuka, but you got low developed levels of these two. Well, then you can bring in, Scour and Hattie for about 28. Well, for good points. You can run Purin for a little bit better points, but again, it's going to depend on your level. If your Purin is not X30, keep in mind X30 is what's going to give the increased energy regeneration, but also keep in mind that she was sending out her... she was increasing the damage of summoned units, which don't have an energy bar, so it doesn't really matter. So even at X20, I think Purin's still going to do what she has to do for this fight. If you don't have Mari, right, then you can bring in Scour. If you have really crappy, like 1 copies of the Collab units, then you can do this, right? So just mix and match it to get the best possible score that you can. But just know that the best comp is going to be this if you have it. All right? Okay. I don't know why she switched gear. There we go. Okay, done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. Go get it. Get your spot on the leaderboard. I hope this helped. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers, peace. Bye-bye.